Hello and welcome to your weekly technical update, your guide to the charts that matter this week. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, let's begin with the local share market, with the ASX 200 having recently hit a new record high. That followed a sharp 3% down day on Wall Street earlier in October. Jason McIntosh from Motion Trader examines the price action on the ASX amid some recent volatility.
I think that probably is going to be a surprise for a lot of people because, of course, that follows that sharp 3% down day in the US a couple of weeks back. And when we get those big down days in the US, it often leads to volatility locally. But instead, we've got a new all-time high. And I think this is telling because when people are bracing for a negative response, but instead the market holds its ground and then makes new highs, well, that's often a bullish sign. Just look at the latest price action. All the pullbacks are being contained around the moving averages. So I've got the 50 and the 100-day moving averages on this chart. And that's been the case really for the last 5 months. So this tells us the dips are being bought, and I think the odds continue to favour the upside. And this is typical of bullish phases. So you can just see what happened back in 2024 on the left-hand side of the chart. There were lots of pullbacks to the moving averages. Prices sometimes rebounded quickly, while at other times there might have been several weeks of consolidation, but that underlying trend was up for over 12 months. And I think we have a similar situation now. So despite some of the bearish headlines we might see, the underlying structure here remains positive. We've got those rising moving averages, again the 50 and the 100, prices above the moving averages, and there's a well-established sequence of rising lows and higher highs. So these are all bullish markers, and I think they set up a bullish backdrop.
Well, let's now turn to the resources sector, and the focus for investors has been on gold and rare earths, but Michael Gable from Fairmont Equities has been watching the larger iron ore miners. He says the Fortescue chart looks as though it's put in major lows.
Commodity space, we've all been talking gold and rare earths, but Fortescue looks like it's put in a major low. So all of this sort of price action over the past year to me looks like a bottoming phase. It looks like what we refer to as an inverse head and shoulders, and what we've seen last week is a break above a key resistance line near $20. So I've circled that there. It looks like we're going to get a nice recovery on Fortescue. So yeah, look, I expect that one to head back into the high 20s as well. So yeah, all the attention's been on BHP. We're holders of BHP, but have a look at Fortescue. I think you'll get a nice move out of that one.
Well, staying with commodities, Michael Gable turns his attention to coal stocks with a focus on New Hope Corporation.
What it's been doing over the past few years is basically consolidating back. So what I've indicated by that large blue line is that it has been drifting back. So it hasn't really been on anyone's radar. Coal prices have sort of slipped a bit over the past couple of years, but the range is tightening up. Look, I think there'll continue to be coal-fired power station extensions here in Australia. The Chinese are still buying a lot of our coal. I think their economy's proving to be very resilient and should pick up. So that will help with coal prices. So the range is starting to tighten up here. So usually that precedes a bit of a decent move higher. So you probably need to see New Hope push through sort of the high falls. But to me, it looks like it's building up to do that. So I wouldn't be surprised if in a few months from now we're talking about coal stocks again.
That's it for this week's edition of The Charts to Watch. Join us for more technical talk next week. Happy trading.